Good afternoon, my fellow Pokemon hunters. Today on PokeHunt is an introduction video, so to speak, on what this channel's about and what we plan to do and
And basically, overall view on the latest in Pokemon Go, when that comes out, what it's about, and any general questions that you might have, that we might have, and just throw them back and forth.
exactly. So this video is pretty much just basing like a lot of ideas and theories that we all have, but no one's really talked about them besides certain press conferences that have gone on, which hasn't been a hell of a lot.
Yeah. Always kind of leaving a lot of things in the dark, I feel.
Exactly. So one of the big ones, for me personally, is we all know how the game is going to work with their trailer and how it's come out and the way they demoed it. My biggest question is, how do you start? So they've obviously said, and this is a quote, they want you to be able to encounter Pokemon the moment you leave the door.
Exactly. So whether that encounter will be your starter, or if, like, just your starter Pokemon in general, will you be given that? Or is that a random thing? Do you choose, or do you have to catch it yourself? And if so, how will that happen?
Yeah.
So
Exactly, because in the traditional Pokemon games, you got to remember, you actually have to weaken the Pokemon to be able to have a good success rate in catching them. So, not too sure how that's going to work. You know, maybe you have to purchase sticks and stones, like in the Safari Zone, where you have to like throw shit at the Toro to catch them. We don't know. So again, this is a lot of speculation that we're just trying to cover as much as we've kind of come up with.
And what I got to think is, like, straight away, your starter Pokemon has got to be the easiest Pokemon to catch because it's the first thing. So they wouldn't make it too difficult if...
Well, we would think so.
Yeah, we would hope so. It's like, unless you have to be Pokemon Master rank straight off the bat. So hopefully...
Could you imagine if you actually had to beat down the Pokemon yourself? Like, you're just sitting there, like, just imagine your neighbor opening the door, collecting the newspaper first thing in the morning, and in Pokemon Go release day, you're sitting there smacking a bush with your iPhone or your Samsung. Like, come on! God damn it! Like, to me, that would be hilarious.
That would
just
be,
to watch.
that would be really good. Or even like, just say like, because iPhones or even Samsungs, they've got like those gyroscopes and GPS tracking in it. So imagine you have to actually chase down the Pokemon, as in like it's actually running, but you have to kind of beat it.
It's like Pokemon can't do that in real game. It's only in the Safari Zone where they can actually run away.
Yeah, they can actually run away.
Could you imagine that?
Oh, that would be so nice.
Imagine like you go to your very first like event. Like, another thing they've said is that there's going to be legendary Pokemon events where a group of people, everyone goes, and
they participate in taking down one Pokemon,
and then you get them as your prize. Again, that's another thing to speculate. I'll touch on that in a second. But what if you get to that location and you start the fight, you get it pretty weak, and just before everyone starts throwing your Pokeballs at it, it runs away.
It's like the biggest screw you to everyone.
It would be, and to be honest, I hope they don't have moving Pokemon once it's encountered. I'm all for moving Pokemon prior to discovery, but I reckon once you get an alert from it on your watch or on your phone, it should be stationary.
Yeah, definitely.
And just to touch on the legendary encounters, they haven't told us whether or not everyone gets one or not.
Yeah, true. The trailer kind of, I think it indicates that, sort of.
It does, but you don't actually see people walking away with a bloody Mewtwo.
Yeah, true. And, like, in that case, you know what, as well, those Pokemon encounters, how will it work? Like, just say, like, there's one Pokemon and there's, like, 10 of you going after this one Pokemon. What if some random dude comes in, last second, just connects to the game, and then he just gets a Mewtwo? Or does it work...
You know what would be interesting? Like, similar games to World of Warcraft and things like that, it's you have a week. Now, I'm not sure if this is like a good idea in terms of the time frame, but I think the base of it, so you actually have to have a set party of friends or just random people that you actually have to go to activate the event.
Okay.
So let's say, for example, we live in Australia, if you couldn't tell, but there's a Mewtwo sighting or a Mew sighting in Sydney, by Darling Harbour.
Yeah.
Anyone can go. But I reckon it would be interesting is if you had to have a set amount of people to start the event.
That's very true. Instead of having just one random person just trying to...
Exactly, because again, they have based it that they want you to have a competitive nature to this game. Yes, one aspect is to catch more, hence the meaning of Pokemon, but they actually want a competitive side of it.
You know what I just thought? What if, just say like the trailer example, if you've seen it when everyone's versing that Mewtwo in the middle of Times Square. Like, in that, you just think that there's one Mewtwo that everyone attacks. So that either means that this Mewtwo has like extreme health, like super extreme for everyone to go in, or everyone versus an individual Mewtwo for themselves, but it's just within a certain time frame.
I think that's a good idea as well. But what if the Mewtwo gives off such good experience that the person that does deal the most damage gets it?
Oh, okay.
Now you have to throw the Pokeball to initiate it, but if you've done the most damage in the beginning, you've achieved it. Because then you've sort of earned it. You've done your brownie points on the beginning to get there to catch it. But after that Pokemon has been caught or defeated, everyone that participated gets a shit ton of XP.
Yeah.
I think that would probably, and most likely, happen. Because you got to think from a developer standpoint. Would you much rather have 40 people, for example, rock up to a legendary event and giving away 40 legendaries, which have the possibility of being spread out through the entire world? Yeah. Or would you rather give a lot of experience and only one of those?
I think that would be better. Like, I feel like the legendaries would have more worth.
Exactly. Because, again, you have to remember that other games that have this possibility of real-world trading are basing it off Counter-Strike, basing it off games that have an actual currency.
Yeah.
Again, currency is something we'll touch on in a little bit as well.
Basically, a whole community just for trading as well. Like, just within the gaming system.
Exactly.
So Counter-Strike is a very good example where people trade skins and camo and everything, and for actual money, or like other games where you trade in-game currency for such things. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see as well if Pokemon Go will have that, or if you can purchase it yourself.
Exactly. Like, another thing that we went out for coffee and discussed some ideas off each other prior to recording this, and another good one was, how is it all going to work in terms of the app? Now, obviously, we all know we all have smartphones. When you go onto your app store, regardless of what type, it will say in a little asterisk, in-game purchases.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure a lot of people are already thinking this, but Pokeballs in the real game, aren't free. So...
Very, very true.
Are you going to have to pay real money for it? Which seems incredibly likely. But another possibility that we've kind of come up with is, just like in the game, there's an in-game currency.
Yeah.
So imagine when you verse players, when you catch Pokemon, when you do your day-to-day stuff in-game, you're earning a currency which therefore can be turned into items.
Exactly. Like, sort of like if you played the original games or any Pokemon game, anytime you verse anyone and you win, there's like a prize, a winning money prize sort of thing, cash prize. Yeah. And obviously you use that to buy Pokeballs, items and stuff. So if you have to think, when you verse people, it's like a wager match almost all the time? Or is it just...
You have to select like a certain proposal? Like, if you're basing it off games like Call of Duty, like where you had like your party games where you had currency that you played for, like you'd bet, and then if you won a greater amount, if you lost, you lost it all. Would it be similar where you could just verse someone for fun, like we could just verse each other for shits and giggles, or would we have to put in like 50 Poke Points or whatever the fuck they're gonna call it? Like,
and if we do verse each other for fun, will the experience count almost? Because like in game,
farming could be a big thing.
Yeah,
as well.
Exactly. Like we verse each other for fun, we could just like throw the games just to get our Pokemon up on XP without having any sort of like loss.
Exactly. I think a good counter to that would be similar to other MOBA games. Like I think one that really comes to mind would be the 8-ball pool game.
Yeah, 8-ball pool.
If you verse someone, the first, like say we versed each other, that one game you get XP and your money that you earned.
Yeah.
But any other game that you verse them for that week, you don't earn anything from.
Yeah.
From that point on,
from any friends,
it's just fun.
Yeah.
I think a similar concept could really be good, or if you're not gonna do like a complete no XP, no money.
Yeah.
Or just no XP, I would say maybe a tapered off XP rate. And I don't know. So I guarantee they've already thought these things through, and we're just speculating now. Now, this is just bouncing off ideas. Again, we want people chiming in. Let us know what you think about like the ideas that we're coming up with. If you agree, if you disagree, if you have your own spins on it, let us know. No.
You know what? I actually think that would be really good, like that tapered off XP, or the basically no more XP gain after that thing. Because just say if you're versing your brother or your friend or your cousin, and you just want to keep battling them because it's just fun.
Exactly. Like back when we all had our Game Boy Advances and that.
Yeah.
All went up to family gatherings and that, and you all just versed each other.
Yeah.
Now it wasn't for crazy XP or just it was for bagging ranks.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's what it was. But another thing was, okay, when your Pokemon fainted, you have to go to the Poké Center. What's gonna happen in this game? Is there certain checkpoints you have to go to in real life? Is it a time limit on revival? Do you have to purchase full revives?
You know what? That's a very good thing. Like other mobile games, like just like Candy Crush or the new Angry Birds. You have like 5 lives, and if you lost 5 times, you have to wait for either the time limit of whatever it is, for every 15 minutes an extra life, or you have to purchase more lives. So
exactly.
That could be the thing. Like if you lose too many times in the day, you either have to wait for all your Pokemon to revive within a time limit, or maybe you can purchase a kind of like a speed up sort of
revival. What would be really interesting and a good little food for thought is because the game is based off GPS and like Google Maps, mapping. Imagine if you were allowed to personally designate one area where the moment you were in that area, it was as if you were in a Poké Center. So everyone's home would be a Pokemon Center. Your actual house will be a Pokemon Center.
Oh, you know what? That would be really good.
Or a better one, when you charge your phone.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would do that, because I don't know how you would be able to tell if someone's charging their phone.
Yeah.
Via
an app, but they could do that.
I think that would be a good idea. Which I swear, if they watch this video, and then I'm gonna call them.
Yeah.
But I think I think that would be a cool idea, because the game is based off mapping.
Yeah.
If you do, well, you can. If you're on Google Maps, you can set waypoints. You can set designated areas. You can set your home. Like when you want to, if I want to go to Brandon's house, if I say from home, if I just type home, it knows where I am, because it goes from where the place you are at the most. So possibly, I think that's probably an idea that 60% of people haven't thought of. I didn't. I just thought of that now.
Yeah, I didn't think of that at all.
Hey, touching on Pokeballs, different types of Pokeballs.
Yes, and when you start off, do you get given Pokeballs?
Yes. Another thing that they have mentioned is there will be gym leaders, but gym leaders will be stupidly hard. There is levels, so you can't just go to Cerulean City like Pokemon. Okay, Pokemon the anime. You could if you lived in that city, you could go to that city and then go to a different city, and it's all the same level. Yeah. It's not like the game where it's kind of a progressive storyline. It's getting progressively harder in terms of levels. I think there will be a level base. I have a really good feeling that they're following the games more than the show.
I think they would.
Now, they have announced that these gyms are going to be spontaneous, like events. as well, I have the feeling that they're going to do the similar thing. It won't just be one person that is like king shit and you have to go versus him.
You know what? That's very true, because if someone's like, just they have like level 10 Pokemon or level 15, which is around the first gym, I think, and then someone who's been training for like an extra month comes in level 40s and goes to the same gym leader, do you have an equal chance, or is the guy who has a level 40 obviously just going to tear shit up? Or
And that also brings into account what's going to be the best method of EXP. Now, is it going to be you're going to have to make the decision whether to defeat a Pokemon encounter or to catch it? Or is it going to be I'm going to have to just battle a whole shit ton of people, which again is going to break social norm because no one likes talking to anyone in this generation.
Exactly. You know what? I think that's what they'll do. Obviously, Pokemon, like when you see random like wild Pokemon, I reckon there'll be a set like experience system, sort of like exactly like the game. But versing people and actual people, I feel like will be such like a much rewarded experience in a way that that's what they want to encourage, because all gaming developers encourage community sort of based gaming, especially multiplayer ones, and this one's global multiplayer. So obviously they're trying to encourage community like involvement. So I reckon if you verse someone like anyone else besides a random spawn, it's just going to be a heap more experience.
Yeah, and they have announced aspects of spawning of Pokemon, like how's it going to work. It is going to be geologically based. So if you're by the water, you're going to encounter water type Pokemon. Yeah. If you're in the hills area, like if you're in a higher elevation in terms of like, what's a good one? Colorado is a mountain based state in America. You're going to likely find Pokemon that are going to be found in higher elevations.
Yeah.
That's the way it's going to work. And another big one in terms of geologically graphing Pokemon is how are they going to do the regions?
Exactly. Actually, yeah, that's very true, because there are so many Pokemon out there right now, and I really doubt that they're going to have every single Pokemon evolved in every single region.
Yep.
Because, I don't know, it doesn't really make sense unless they have, like, just say the Hoenn League, the Hoenn region is one continent on our sort of actual in real life sort of thing, and then a different continent like the Americas is the Kanto or something like that. And
I feel like that will bring a unique community to the game.
Definitely.
Because I could be able to catch a Pidgey, and another area will be able to catch... What's another one?
I don't know.
Like another
Cynical.
beginning... Yeah, like another beginning type fire. Like
Rattata?
Yeah, exactly. So... I'm gonna be interested in what they're going to do that. Like, another one is, are they going to do it state-wise? So every country has different states. Each state a different region.
You know what? I think that would be better if they do regions as different countries or different different continents, because in a way, every Pokemon game there was a base of Pokemon that were consistent throughout. Like, you could catch a Pikachu from the first Game Boy colors all the way to the latest ones, and that didn't matter from region. The only things region-based were the starters and a lot of the lower-end Pokemon and the legendary and the high-end. And there would be a good mix. So I reckon globally, there's going to be a norm, like a standard set, but in sets designated regions like countries or continents, there's going to be the specials.
Would you agree with maybe the very first generation of Pokemon being worldwide and then having all the different areas or the different seasons or whatever you want to call it scattered, like depending on... Should it just be the higher I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying right now. Should it be that the original series of Pokemon, so like your fire, like your red, blue, green, yellow, be available worldwide, and then have your sapphire, your rubies, your What's the other one?
Emerald.
Be America based?
Yeah.
Should the Diamond Pearl be, Southern Hemisphere, or would they break it up into that? Would it be simply Northern and Southern?
Yeah.
Which I think Australia is at a disadvantage because we're not like America. America has a lot more around them, and then you think about Europe.
Exactly.
Europe will probably have one of the biggest trading scenes worldwide.
Definitely. Australia being a country and a continent in itself, just surrounded by water, we're kind of just our own community. But Europe, gatherings can just happen all the time. Same as America. But I think Europe and Asia will be the powerhouse of Pokemon Go. Like, it would just be those epicenters.
Yeah.
And then I reckon America will definitely be close, and around the sort of Australia, and then all the other kind of off countries will kind of follow on.
Now, would you say that because of these reasons, those countries that are kind of grouped together should be one region?
I think so, because it wouldn't be fair. As in, if just say I don't know, Italy and Greece or Sweden, whatever, they're borders apart almost. So if you're there and you can just go region to region by a simple train ride, where it would take us a plane trip, a 24-hour plane trip to get to, like, I feel it wouldn't be quite as fair. But in saying that, if it was the whole continent and region based, and then everyone has to take that massive journey of a 24-hour trip or a cruise or flight or a 5-hour drive up the coast or down the coast to encounter different Pokemon, I feel like that would be a little bit more fair.
Exactly.
And it will encourage, obviously, sort of like people getting out of their house, traveling, and it just kind of adds a better experience for everyone, I reckon, going anywhere they go,
And I honestly feel like maybe having events in the game where you have an opportunity of earning double XP or like things in that nature to help the game, because I feel like if this is not only community driven but also a marketing standpoint driven, if the companies that are working on this behind the scenes, if they actually drive this and they drive it well, it has the possibility of becoming a AAA title.
Exactly. Actually, I'm just thinking about that now, double XP. How easy or how difficult will it be to level up your Pokemon?
Yeah,
like because on the Game Boy or DS, like
it took a long fucking time to get
it took a while, but if in a month you could, of just normal gaming, you could easily get your Pokemon up to level 100 if you do it consistently. And there's definitely people that are willing to do that and just put hours and hours into it. So, and then people might just get way overpowered way too quickly. They'll have 6 Pokemon level 100, and then everyone in the world will have 6 Pokemon level 100. So maybe it'll be sort of how like World of Warcraft or Diablo or sort of thing, or RuneScape, where leveling takes a long time, like a very long time.
Well, you think about it in terms of RuneScape or games that are classic grind games.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I do play RS. Now, getting 99 woodcutting in members, if you're averaging 4 to 6 hours a day, you'll get that in 3 to 4 weeks. One skill. You look at the skill page and tell me how many skills there are.
Yeah.
Now, that is a lot, and that is a fast skill. Okay? Now, I would honestly like different statuses of Pokemon. So you're easy to catch, you're harder to catch, like your tiers of Pokemon. Like everyone knows, like if you're playing like bloody Diamond and you're walking out there and you're still encountering like level 10 to 15 like first level generation Pokemon, you're not gonna bother catching them.
Yeah.
I want to know that if I catch one of those, like I'll bring it back to the first generation. If I catch a Pidgey, compared to if I catch what's a harder one? I'll go for a legendary. If I catch like one of the legendaries, I want to know that my Pidgey is going to level up faster than I would level up a Ho-Oh. Because if you somehow manage to catch a legendary Pokemon, that Pokemon should not be easy to get to an OP status. Because if it's taking a band of people to defeat this thing in the first place,
yeah,
could you imagine how OP it's going to be?
exactly.
So I feel like taking it away from that standpoint where you've captured it, I don't know whether they should reset certain things, if they should like tear it down. I don't know. But that does bring me to another point which I have written. The MLG side of it and the competitive side of it. Obviously there's going to be a competitive scene.
There's always, every game, no matter what, becomes competitive in some nature.
Especially in this generation where people just want to be better than other people.
Exactly. Like, it can start off with something simple, like as in, community leaderboards. Mm-hmm. Like either catch rates or level up or or just like
and they
win
have
and
that.
Losses.
They have that technology to do it.
Yeah, that's straight away. That's easy. That's like basic.
And because everything is done satellite, and mapping based. Imagine if they I guarantee they're gonna make a website where it will be community driven.
Mm-hmm.
You can create teams, find out what someone else is doing, and that brings me to a major point which I hope they introduce: clans.
Yeah.
Now, imagine, like, we've already touched on like these bigger sort of boss battles, like boss events.
Yeah.
Yes. Imagine if you had a group that you, as a group, were notified. You were able to create your own events. You were able to start clan battles, like, because they already said it. There's group battles.
Exactly. You know what? That's what they need as well, because one thing, people can't always just wait for those big events to happen, because they happen. I don't know how often they'll happen, but it doesn't seem like will happen all the time. Yeah. And again, not everyone can go to them. So having small community or clan based events, even like that, I feel like, one, people can just work together straight away and really get into it. Mm-hmm. And two, that will prepare them for those big events.
Exactly.
So no one's going in blind or just unaware of how those situations will happen.
Yep. And another interesting side of it was, this is obviously going to start a YouTube frenzy.
Definitely. 100%.
So how are they going to allow people to record from their phones? No doubt there are apps out there that you can use to record your
the software on the computer, if you're connected to the computer.
Exactly. So what, you're going to walk around like Bondi Beach with a bloody laptop in your hand? Don't think so.
Some apps that now are starting to realize, or developers are starting to realize, that a lot of people like to record their content. And share their content. So they have built-in recording things, like functions within the app. Yeah. In saying that, it's going to be, I don't know, weird to see how they're going to do that, because one, if you want to record something, maybe they can have a setting like every battle you record. Otherwise, people are just going to be there pressing the button, and it's like, oh, I just see someone quickly record, then verse. Or see how that work, and see how much like actual space that will take up on the phone as well. But people have to...
Well, there is cloud settings in that.
There is.
It won't be very hard for them, especially if they're already using Google Maps and things like that to set up their own server base.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that it shouldn't be that hard. If that you can pair it to your own iCloud, man, and you have heaps of space on that shit.
Yeah. You know what? That's a very good point. And actually, just touching on iCloud and servers, they have to realize this is internet based, this game. So a lot of people have data problems because not everyone can afford unlimited data, and even 5 gigs now on a phone can go really quickly, because a lot of people like watching YouTube. A lot of people like Netflix. I don't know. Just a lot of people like doing a lot of things. And Pokemon Go, if it's really heavy on data, no one's going to play. No one will be able to play even if they want to. Exactly. So they have to make it a way where everything is based on their phone, but they only use the data to identify information transferring, sort of thing.
Well, to my knowledge, there hasn't been a app that doesn't know when to stop.
Yeah.
So I understand you can just close the app in the background, but then you're not going to get notifications if there's a Pokemon nearby.
But that's the thing. I think that's why the wristband's for as well.
But wouldn't the wristband just connect to Bluetooth to your phone?
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
Technically, it's still using data. Which means, if you want to sign up, now's the best time to invest in pocket Wi-Fi's. Honestly.
Actually, no. Pocket Wi-Fi's would be much better.
There's two things you're going to need with Pokemon Go. And this is honest. Power banks for your phones.
Yeah.
And pocket Wi-Fi's. Because there is no way in hell that you're going to survive
on just your standard battery life.
Exactly, especially if you don't have a wristband.
Yeah.
If you don't have a wristband, you're fucked. And if you do,
just a normal because people are not just gonna be at Pokemon Go only on their phones. People still gonna use Facebook, still gonna check out their emails, statuses, and that already drains a lot of power for a lot of people.
Exactly.
So I guarantee you, the only people that are serious about Pokemon Go really need a secondary power bank.
Yep.
And if they can, high data plan. Well, not plans. Just as in just a good data reserve or pocket Wi-Fi's if you can.
Yep. So based on what we've already discussed and what we've touched on, we're gonna talk about our plans. So the plans for this channel, plans
for the both of us, and how we're going to be involved in this up and coming Pokemon like global scheme sort of thing.
Exactly. So straight off the bat, you already see this channel. Now this channel or the Facebook page, whatever you're watching this video on, it is one step to a bigger cause. Now our primary goal is we want to promote, we want to show that this game is fun. Now,
exactly.
Everyone knows Pokemon. Like, if you don't know Pokemon, you've probably been living under a rock of some sort, or...
Pokemon is one of those games that no matter what age you are, where you are in the world, you play it, and you have played, or know of, or watched, and loved.
Exactly.
You know?
And...
Obviously, we want to do, like, sort of gaming videos, sharing, like, just the normal sort of stuff you see on gaming channels on YouTube, but we want to take it a bit further because we think it's really interesting of all the possibilities this game can have.
Exactly. So one of the big things that we're wanting to bring, especially this is predominantly for the Facebook page, is a marketplace. Now we want to have a sharing community. We want to have a trading community. Now you might already be a part of groups that trade retro games or trade things.
Yeah.
Yep. Or sell things. Now, let's say, for example, Brandon went on a trip to America. Now, when he's over there for other reasons besides Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
But he's collecting Pokemon as he goes.
Different Pokemon in that region.
Exactly. Now, when he comes back to Australia, he's sharing all these different Pokemon on our page and saying, look, guys, I'm after these different types of Pokemon. I have this different types of Pokemon to share. Now, the way we're wanting it to kind of
be structured
is similar to Counter-Strike, to CSGO. Now, in CSGO, you have two methods of trading. You have your direct, I'll pay you $100 for that.
Yeah. Or
you have your traditional trading, where it's like, okay, I'll trade you my Bulbasaur for your Cyndaquil.
Yeah.
So there's two different types, and we want to kind of
make the place where people can do that easily, and it's just kind of improves the experience for everyone.
Outside of the game.
Outside of the game, of course.
Because we already know that, based on like logic, they're going to have a similar style. We want to have it a...
You know what? They may not. You never know, because...
That's true.
But basically, a lot of people want... Just say, straight off the bat, you want the best Pokemon, or you want the coolest Pokemon out there. And where you live, you might be able to find heaps of Pidgeys, or heaps of Rat-a-tats or maybe Magikarp or something. But like your friend lives in just down like the next suburb over or the next city over, and he has a lot of like Butterfrees or something like that. And you know what? Maybe you can't find one, you can't catch one, but it's just, and you just can trade with him, but maybe you can't encounter other people that they want to get rid of their Pokemon that you're interested in.
Exactly. And in a previous press statement from, I can't remember the company's name, but the company that is developing Pokemon Go, you have to trade. It is impossible to collect all the Pokemon. They have said it. They want it to be trade-based. Now, straight off the bat, that means trading evolutions.
That's what I'm thinking.
So, there you go. There's a reason why to use the page, for the right reasons. And another good course to use the page would be to party up. If there is an event near you, you want to find out if there's anyone else in the area.
Exactly. And we're in saying that, we want to also host our own events as well.
Exactly.
Because one thing that hosting a trading page, you're going to encounter a lot of Pokemon, a lot of rare Pokemon as well. And
we would hope.
We hope. And you know what? It's just the two of us. We don't need that many rare Pokemon. So what we want to do, and we think would be amazing, is we host events where people can come, trade, just be a community, and also have a chance to get those rare Pokemon from us. Like a tournament. And it would be one thing, it would be amazing to have that many kind of gamers all in one area doing the same thing that they love. And it doesn't have to be straight off those special Pokemon events that happen once in the blue moon. Who knows when that happens.
Yeah, and there isn't a reason why we can't base our events around those.
Exactly.
Like, let's say they're going to have a deadline. They can't just spring it up on you all of a sudden. They're going to give you like on Friday or something that they're going to be like, for this week or this weekend, for example, there's going to be an event. What's stopping us from, Saturday or Friday before it, or meeting up and having a good time and going to the event together?
Basically, yeah.
Exactly. So it's really going to be community driven. We want it to have a nice family based community.
And any suggestions that you might have, like, to these events, because, starting off, we're just going to go or what we feel is right. But as we get along, we might find that different ways, different events, or different ways we structure will be better. And then by the time that happens, everyone will be able to benefit.
Exactly. And I think the biggest thing that we want to take away from it is if the whole boss event sort of stuff happens and only one of them are given away, we still want to be able to give out to people that weren't lucky enough to capture them. So, it might not be a bloody Mewtwo, it might not be an Arcanine, but you will get a Pokemon that you don't have.
That's actually very true. When we find those events, we're going to do our absolute best to catch that Pokemon and maybe even see if we can catch it multiple times. See if that's a possibility. If it is, because we can offer that to you guys, to our fans, to our followers, to our community.
Exactly.
And that one, so you don't have to stress out that you missed out on an amazing Pokemon event. And two, you have a chance to actually get this Pokemon that you really want, that you missed out on for some sort of reason.
Yeah.
So, exactly. So, I find that if I had that, it would just be something amazing.
And this isn't just going to be a trading based page. I want this to be an information hub. Exactly. Now, if down the road we get lucky enough to get some sneak preview info, I want the page, I want this channel, I want everything belonging to Pokemon Hunters to be the first channel of communication.
Straight away.
Because at the end of the day, it is a community. We're just the hosts.
It's good to know from the developers, but I think it will be better to know from actual gamers coming from it. Like, we'll see it, we'll get it, and we'll show it to you.
Exactly.
And
a lot of the things they say are kind of interpreted the way they want it.
Yeah.
Now, if you've looked at any of the press statements that they've made, very, very, very little to go on.
Very vague.
Extremely vague. Like, I think they've touched on only the stuff they showed in the trailer.
Exactly.
And that's it. Like, absolutely it. And they've been thrown questions by multiple people, and they've just kind of sidetracked them and answered them with their own
Which
questions.
is good for them because, one, it builds up
Hype.
a massive hype.
Exactly.
Because straight away people just want to grab that game, and just see what it can do.
Yeah,
see what you can do with it. If you found out everything you can do with it, and then maybe they said one feature that you're not too fond of, it might, draw you back from the game.
Yeah.
So that's why they do that. But we want to find out as much as we can, discuss with you based on our theories, and I think we can come up with the best thing.
Yeah, exactly. And the older the game gets, the more mature it gets from release date. We're going to find the best ways.
Yeah.
The best ways, the best strats, the best ways to catch Pokemon, the best ways to find Pokemon.
The best areas to find Pokemon.
Exactly. There's endless possibilities of what we
tactics
can do.
to catch certain Pokemon in certain areas.
Exactly.
It's it's just a community that we want to be part of, and it'll be awesome.
Exactly. And every now and then we might go for trips up to Queensland or all over Australia or maybe even overseas at some point, and say, are there any Pokemon you guys want us to keep an eye out for?
Yeah.
And we can create a straw poll, maybe 3,000, fingers crossed, 3,000 people vote for Gyarados or something like that.
Yeah.
And we go out and we try
and we'll go, we'll base our trip, one, to have fun, but also obviously try to catch that Pokemon
exactly
that you guys vote for. And then not only that, bring that back or share it there, or share our Pokemon there overseas where you guys are, wherever you may be.
Exactly.
And basically become this hub of sharing and community for Pokemon Go.
Because at the end of the day, sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. And I find that if we do go overseas and we do catch rare Pokemon, or just even uncommon Pokemon that you don't come across,
or Pokemon that just aren't in Australia.
Yeah, just not in Australia. For people in Australia to have a chance.
Any Pokemon that isn't available in Australia is technically a rare.
Yeah, straight away.
Let's be honest.
Straight away. Because otherwise someone has to pay over $1,000 to go overseas somewhere to catch Pokemon.
In the actual press conference the recent one that they've released, is they actually said the only way to get Pokemon that aren't in your area is to ask someone that goes on business trips to look out for them.
Exactly.
And that is an actual quote. I am not joking. And I'm just like, damn, I wish I had a plan that flew overseas every week. Again, we want to be able to be at a level where we get to go over these countries and we get to experience what for other people are their everyday Pokemon Go experience.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I would love to have our own little shirts and hats and cool swag like that. And
represent.
Exactly, and have these events where we all just rock it out, you know. And when we rock up to legendary events throughout Australia, people know who the fuck we are, not to fuck with us.
Or dressed up in our uniforms.
We're Poke Hunters.
Hunters.
We're Poke Hunters.
And then share all the awesome Pokemon you catch. Share it. See what other people have catched.
Exactly, and the Facebook page isn't just used for trading. If you've caught something, brag about it. Send a photo. Do it. There's nothing stopping you. We want to experience.
We want to see all the Pokemon.
Exactly, we want to share your experience with you. That might not mean I want your Pokemon. If you have a shiny Charizard, no. I just want to see that other people are achieving good stuff in this game.
Yeah. What are your starter 6? What is your highest Pokemon? What is the Pokemon you caught for the week?
Perfect. And these are going to be series ideas that are going to go up on this channel.
Exactly.
In terms of graphics and all that kind of fun stuff, it's being worked on.
We're coming. That's down the road.
Exactly.
Right now, we're starting from the bottom, and we'll work our way up to here. Here.
Not here. Just
maybe a bit higher.
Yeah, just a little bit. But guys. So
obviously, comment. Just basically share, just tell us what you think the game. Any theories that we've covered or you think we haven't covered or discussed right. Yeses, nos. Just whatever you think will be great.
Exactly, because again, the game isn't out yet.
Yeah.
We are all still anxiously waiting for a release date. So all we can do right now is sit back, twiddle our thumbs, and think about all the glorious Pokemon that we're going to catch.
Exactly.
And we might as well all do that together, because doing it by yourself is kind of sad.
Straight away, I want to see how fast I can catch a Magikarp, because...
I personally hate fishing.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend bugs me because she wants to go fishing all the time. And I said, hey.
If I could catch Pokemon on my fishing trip,
I'm like,
that's actually really cool.
I bluntly said to her, I'm like, if I catch a fucking Gyarados,
Yeah.
I'll come fishing.
Yeah.
I'll come fishing. And she looked at me and she said, can we go tomorrow? And I said, the game's not out yet. So no.
Oh, that would be amazing. Oh my gosh, fishing trips will be a whole different experience.
Could you imagine in the game that they have... Because there are certain events in the actual game that are major obstacles, like Red Gyarados, Snorlax. These kind of Pokemon-related events, do you think they will happen in real life? I'm not gonna say that like you're in the middle of the M5 and Snorlax is in the middle of the in the middle of the road,
and you can't pass.
You can't pass
until you have the flute.
No, you can't encounter the Pokemon until someone has a flute.
Actually, items. Items besides Pokemon, like actual items, like maybe Repel or Rare Candy.
Who the fuck would want a Repel?
I don't know. I'm just
rare
saying.
Candies.
Elixirs.
No. Fuck Rare Candies, because Rare Candies gonna ruin the shit out of this game.
Oh, especially if you can buy them with real currency, because no matter how
it's gonna like purchase them, and it'll be like, Rare Candies $1 each. Fuck yeah, I'll spend $100. I would fucking do that. Like,
honestly, even if they were $100 each, I feel like someone is out there. There's people out there who's gonna spend $10,000
if I had the money. If I had the money, I'll do it.
Yeah, exactly. If I had the money, if I had $10,000 to spend on Rare Candy,
because you know what, I would do it, and then I'd instantly try and flip them.
Straight away.
I'd flip them. I'll just be like, look, give me $20. No, I wouldn't say that much. I'd say, hey, look, I'm the first person to get a Magikarp to level 100. Pay me.
Yeah.
And, people would. It's not a thing. And I guarantee you people will do it.
You know what? I reckon they should do it how Rocket League, if you ever played Rocket League, basically, all the in-game purchases do not boost your car's...
It's just cosmetic.
It's all cosmetic.
It's like on Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
It's skins.
Or even just temporary. It could be even temporary boosts. Like in FIFA, there are temporary boosts where you can plus 10 all your stats, but they only last for one game or one battle. So that might be something to do. But again, someone can really...
just buff the fuck out of it.
Yeah. Someone can really take advantage of that.
Elite Four. Every
year. I reckon there's some...
I reckon they will have an annual event.
An annual event.
Yeah. Because they did it. They used to do it.
You know what I reckon they'll do? They'll do like region events. Sort of how all competitive gaming is. They start off in the countries, and then if you make it a regionals, nationals, internationals, that's how you get there.
Exactly. And I feel like that's a good step. It's a good step in the right way. But I would really, really, really like to see what they did with the trading cards, where there are certain cards that are super rare and super expensive on eBay, and you only were given one. You were actually given a card that was based on you. So you were given it was like one of those info cards that were practically useless in the game, but it would say you are a member of the Elite Four.
Yeah.
And they're super rare. Obviously, there's only 4 in existence for every year that happened. But I think those would be really cool and really collectible. Imagine if you were allowed to create a shiny Pokemon. You were world champion, you create a shiny Pokemon, but the catch is it's not traded.
Yeah.
I think that'd be sick.
That'd be pretty cool.
Another idea is they should make us like idea guys. I don't know how you... What
Innovators.
No, what would be the term?
Idea guys.
I like the term.
Idea guys. You know what? We'll go directly to the Pokemon like headquarters, and that will be on our shirts.
It's like, oh, what are you here for? I'm the idea guy.
The idea guy.
Get the fuck out. Yeah. They just start throwing Pokeballs at us. Like, get the fuck out.
The business card.
No, like honestly, because I guarantee you that they do look at social media.
No, they have to. They have to.
It's a bit hard to not look at social media.
Otherwise people that's all developers want is games that people want to play. They're not going to make games that people don't like.
Exactly. Unless you're Call of Duty Ghosts and Advanced Warfare. But all that aside, fantastic. But at the end of the day, it is a game that isn't out yet. And this is all just speculation. This is all just two guys sitting in my old setup room talking about games that isn't out.
But that's the thing. There's so much potential for this game.
It can stupid attempt.
Like it's either it can only go honestly. It can only go two ways. It can either go super like amazingly like great, like just global.
That's a lot of adjectives.
Yeah, there's a lot of adjectives. It's so serious. It needs at least 4 adjectives.
Sorry, finish what you're saying.
Or it could go the other way, which people would just forget about it. Which I really hope not, because
Call of Duty Ghost. But will you be able to live stream it? Because obviously, Twitch is a massive, 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 massive marketplace now.
Definitely.
It has created so many companies in terms of sponsorships. Companies like DX Racer, people like Astro, they have used this platform to sponsor, to create awareness in games. Now, I'm not saying that Twitch will make or break Pokemon Go, because I don't think it needs Twitch.
It doesn't need Twitch, but I feel Twitch or even any streaming platform will boost it.
Imagine if there was 2 sides for game.
Yeah.
There was your mobile game, but then everything that you did in real life, throughout that day, it was saved on your phone, or you saved in the cloud. The moment you get home, you are able to play with the Pokemon. You're not able to catch Pokemon, you're not able to alter anything, but you're able to global battle. You might be able to global trade. Imagine if that was a possibility. Because again, there is a PC in the game. Imagine if that was a possibility. And that was another way to get XP.
And that's where you store your Pokemon as well.
You don't actually have to go out and fight people in your area. Because what happens if you do only go to uni in one place and you come home and that's your day-to-day? What happens if you versed everyone that you can think of?
Exactly.
You don't want to be that guy that's just asking random people, hey, do you play Pokemon Go?
And do you want to battle?
Exactly. You don't want to be that guy. Okay, to a certain extent you do, because you want to be the best in your area and that. But imagine if you could verse a higher class tier of players online and still achieve XP from them.
I feel like they should do that.
Like in League of Legends you have your like PvP. So it's just five randoms. Go into a game and you first another 5 randoms in your area. Pardon me. Cater to your skill level. Now imagine if there was a ranked level. Like you had a rank. So let's say Brandon walked past me, and obviously it's gonna say this is a player. Imagine if it told you my rank, and rank actually meant something.
Level 5, level 6, level 10.
Come on, if you walk past me, it'd be level 100. But
mine would be level 101.
I don't know. I'd be tempted to stop at 69 though.
No one versus me. No more Pokemon. And that's it. Just frame your rank.
Would you get XP for catching Pokemon?
I feel like they would, but it depends on their strength and how much. Like again,
well, you always did. You always did get a XP for the Pokemon that you fought with it.
Yeah.
To catch it, because it's technically defeating it.
Yeah.
But I reckon it'll be interesting to have player experience as well as Pokemon experience. Because remember, in the game, and this is true, if you received a high level Pokemon before you've entered certain tier of gyms, the Pokemon wouldn't respond to you. So if Brandon traded me at level 99 when I was up to the second gym, it wouldn't listen to me.
That's very true.
on occasions it would, but
Yeah.
it was like Ash with Charizard.
Yeah.
No, honestly, it's true.
It's very true.
So I think having a player ranking could help the game exponentially.
See, this is what we're here for. We're the idea guys. You know, we're the poker hunters.
That's gonna be the title of this video.
Yeah.
Poker Hunters, episode 1.
Idea guys.
Idea guys. Love it.
It's something exciting.
It is extremely exciting. I know just talking about it over the last 4 days, just talking to Brandon about these kind of ideas that we've bounced off between each other, I've been like non-stop excited.
Non-stop.
Now, we've come up with about 3 different series ideas, and I wish I could start it tomorrow.
Yeah. Honestly, I wish we could start it now. We would have started it now, but Pokemon Go is not out yet. We actually don't know when it's out.
It's only said sometime in 2016.
You know what? I feel like they said that because they don't know themselves, obviously. Because I feel like there's going to be so many bugs in that game initially that they need to get rid of. Because a game on that scale is obviously going to be glitchy if they don't do it properly.
Mm-hmm. And I guarantee they're already trying to sort through data usage. Because that is going to be one of the biggest make or breaks for this game.
Exactly.
If you're using a gig every hour, no one's going to play your fucking game.
No one's going to
play your game. It's almost like, there was like one game, it's called like Infinity Edge not Infinity Edge. Infinity Sword or something like that. It's a mobile game. The game looks amazing. But you'll be on 100%. Play that game, your phone will go up to about 50 degrees in Australia temperature. And you'll be down to about 2% battery.
Exactly.
But the game looks amazing.
The game looks amazing, but it's so graphically heavy that your phone can't do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like playing like the current gen World of Warcraft on Windows XP.
Windows 98.
It just wouldn't work.
I don't think it would.
Your computer would explode. But yeah, so we've been going for about an hour.
Yeah.
So we might wrap it up here. I want to say thank you if you did watch this entire
thank
video.
you, share, like, honestly, but we actually want to hear your comments and just have a chat with you. This is what this is.
Absolutely. This channel has a lot of potential. This theory that we have and the ideas that we do have a lot of potential, and I do hope in the coming months, whenever the game does come out, we've already achieved some sort of level of social media.
Yeah.
That when the game does come out,
immediately
we already have, help there. Yeah. We help you help us, we grow as a family. And
straight away we can already start all our ideas to expand our community and just really have fun with Pokemon Go in every way possible.
Exactly, guys, because at the end of the day, we all want to be Pokemon masters. And the only way we're going to achieve that is becoming a part of the Pokemon hunt.
And got to catch them all.
Exactly. So, like Brandon said, make sure you leave a comment, subscribe, share the fuck out of this. Follow the page. Yeah, exactly. But until then, guys, keep hunting. Peace.